So I saw a lady on the subway the other day that had these really nice knit pants. They were just ribbed knit, and all I could really see from it was from like the knee down to the ankle. Anyway, 'cause she had on a big puffer coat, but it was just I saw them. I was like, that's everything. I love knit pants that look like kind of like trousers. That's what the bottom half looked like anyway. And then she had like big snow boots on, and they were kind of like wide legged. But it really inspired me to like sketch knit pants because I love knit pants. I've always loved knit pants. I wore my knit pants today in the spirit of designing knit pants. These are kind of interesting. They're knit, but they have like this gross green side stripe. And I wore my knit turtleneck, again in the spirit of everything knit. And I wanted to share, I found these pants that I designed and made kind of while I was in school. It was like a really long time ago. But they're just like these humongous knit pants. And they have this kind of design, a stitch with a pattern on it. It's like a tuck stitch, but then it has this sort of like diamond pattern in it. It's hard to see because they're all black. And it has this fold over waistband. The waist is humongous. It's way too big. I would never make a waist this big ever again. I guess because it's supposed to fold. It's just ginormous. The waist goes from like here to here. It's a really tall waist because it's supposed to be folded over. It's crazy. The stuff I designed at school, it's just absolutely crazy. And then they have like these cuff at the ankles. Anyway, I brought some swatches as well, some sort of like fabrics that I thought would be good for doing knit pants. I obviously wanted to do rib because a rib is such a great stitch. It's a little bit structured. It's really comfortable because it stretches so much. And it's a really great basic stitch for knit pants. And I've seen a lot of knit pants, other brands and stuff like that, have done a basic knit. It tends to be wide leg pant. That's what I've seen. And that'll probably be the first thing that I sketch, just so we kind of have a base place that we're starting while we sketch. And then from there, we're going to kind of like branch out into other types of pant styles, adding details. The first thing I actually wanted to do was... Actually, I'm going to keep these pants here because I don't have a rib knit swatch, and I want to use these pants just as kind of like a rib inspiration, even though I think this rib, it's only 1x1, and it's a little too chunky. I'd rather have like a 5x5 that was a finer gauge. But it's nice to have this here just to kind of think about it. I wanted to start with just writing out some things that were kind of ideas for designing knit pants. So I wrote some things down, and I just want to write them down again to have them where I'm sketching. So actually, let's start with stitches because I have my fabrics right here. So let's say stitches. Let's say definitely rib. This one's really great. This is a full cardigan with 2 colors, but it's basically just a full cardigan stitch that can be reversible. Everybody knows how much I love reversible. So let's just write down full cardigan. Full cardigan. We can also do half cardigan. I'm not going to write that down. I feel like half cardigan is just not one of my favorites. This is like, again, reversible. It's like a thermal Milano, which are both good stitch. So let's just write down Milano, because that's not really, I don't know what that is. Ottoman. This is a good one. So this is like a really fun ottoman. And then this is also a full cardigan. It just has a lot of lycra in it. So we already have that down. So maybe we can say, but that would be like in yarns. So stitches, let's say yarn fibers could kind of be like another category. So there we could say, oh wait, let's do a different color. Yarn fibers, let's do pink. Stitches, yarn fibers. That's where it would be good to write down like lycra. I'm spelling lycra wrong. Lycra, which creates like structure. We could also write down, I mean, cotton is always good. I'd say merino is good. Cotton merino, that's good. I don't want to go too crazy with fibers. I think that's fine. Oh, let's go back to stitches. Let's finish up on stitches. This is a half cardigan. This is a half cardigan in cotton. It's kind of like a nice soft, that would be a nice like summer pant. This is a nice merino in a really fine Milano. So we already have Milano down and merino. Oh, this is the same thing like the other one. It's like a really nice structured Milano. This is just a jersey with Lycra, so it's a really structured, really stiff. You can see how stiff it is. It like doesn't move. It's like a really stiff jersey. So we can write down jersey as well. Jersey is a nice basic stitch that kind of works. This is Milano as well. Got a lot of Milano in here. Milano's a really good structured stitch. Let's see. Milano again. Jersey. Oh, maybe the last one I want to just add would be pleated. So I have this swatch here. It's basically pleats, but the way that it knits it so it naturally like pleats in on itself. So that's really nice. So I'm gonna add pleats. Pleated? I'll say pleated. Okay. Then we've got yarn fibers, and then I want to move into, let's see, shape concepts for pants. Shape concepts could be, I would just say like wide leg. Oh, I wrote down like leg warmers, like doing pants that are kind of like leg warmers at the bottom, like they kind of like scrunch up. The shape that's really in right now is like the arc shape, the arc or balloon shape. So I'm just gonna write that down because that would be interesting to do in a knit. Arc / balloon, and then like a culotte with pleats. So it kind of looks like a skirt, culotte. I don't know if I'm going to do culotte, but culotte with pleats. Kind of goes with the pleat vibe. And then I wanted to write down like hem concepts. So things we could do with the hem. Let's do like a mint. Hem could be like a step hem. Step hem is really in right now with the front of the pant hem being higher and the back being lower. So we could do a step. We could do slits. Slits are really in. Front slits, side slits, back slits. Snap side hem, that's not really hem. Frayed. Frayed is very in, like cutting. That'd be cool to do with knit, just like, I don't know if you could actually cut it frayed, or then the other option would be like fringe, because fringe would just be a more, like a cleaner way to do frayed. If you can't actually do frayed with knit, because it'll run, you could do fringe, I guess, at the bottom of the hem. And then, so other details, let's see, other details we could do, oh, that was good. So details, so let's just write down details. So details, I would say, is like, oh, this is where we could put the snap side, like tearaway pants, like snap side, we could say like drawstring. For the waistband could be an option. Could do like jeans inspired, like a button / fly closure. Okay. Oh, could do like cargo pant, like patch pocket details and things like that. Denim pocket details, like back patch pockets. Denim. Let's just say denim details. Because that could also be like stitching, like the orange stitching they have or something like that. Oh, I was doing a pants with like an overskirt. Especially with the cold weather happening right now in New York. I always wanted like a pair of pants, but then had like an overskirt over them just for warmth that like matches. I thought that would be really cool. And then also you can take it, like when you get to where you're going and you're inside again, you can just take off the top skirt layer and just have your pants on, to just not have as many layers on when you're indoors. So other things that are interesting to do with knit are like tailoring details, like darts / other tailored details. Oh, and like the pressed line at center of leg. Cool. So now that we have the sort of details of what we're sketching, like stitches, yarn fibers, shape concepts, hem details, and then other details, we can start sketching. So I started sketching with just sort of like the pair of pants that I saw on the subway, which is basically like a wide rib and a wide leg pants. So that's what I sketched here. It is like an elastic waistband, and then I also added front trouser like slit pockets, because I mean, who doesn't want pockets, right? Everybody likes pockets. So I started with that one, and then I'm going to move on to other types of pants. We'll probably stick with rib, do a few rib variations, move on to maybe like pleats. I'm really excited about doing pleated pants. I think that's really, really cool. So that's the first one. The second pair of pants, I think we'll stick with rib. We could do like, so 2, let's go all the way up. Let's try same thing where we'll do like an elastic type waistband, really simple, and then gradient ribs going down. That'd be kind of cool. So if we start with maybe smaller, so same thing, the silhouette's going to be really simple, just wide leg. We'll just do a wide leg silhouette. So let me go ahead and do the detail of the bottom hem right now, because I think this is really important for the wide leg concept. Okay, that's good. And then, yep, this comes down here. Oops, we kind of cut off our hip a little bit. There, that's better. You know what I think I'd like to do is even exaggerate this even more. We can't really exaggerate it on the inside too much. A little bit. We could come a little bit closer. I'd love to do like, okay, so that these come, this guy gets even overlap a little bit. The outside kind of just goes out a little bit more. That's cool, because that'll really complement then the widening ribs that we have. Okay. And so the inside of the pant, the rib detail, I would start with like 0.7, 0.5, a really fine line. And then also we're gonna need like 18%, that's fine. So 0.5, up here we would do, let's just do to about here. We could also actually use the straightening tool, so this just creates really straight lines. That's a little bit better, it looks a little bit more like rib when they're straighter. That's pretty good, like a really fine rib, 0.5, and then we'll do also 50% for like the sharper edges of the rib. Creates just a little bit more like dynamic texture in there. And then from here, 0.5, we could do like 1. Same thing, we'll do 18% here, so then it'll go to 1 here. Let's do 50% for some of those. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's fine, that works. That looks good. And then moving down, we do 2. 18 again. Could also make it bigger. We could do 2, 3, and then 4. 2, 3, 4. %. Let's do that at 1. Well, where's 2? 2. We'll kind of connect it here at the bottom to, should put them all the way up to like the textured lines we have going on. That's pretty good. Okay. Whoa, that looks really crazy, but when it's just the texture, it'll be a lot more subtle on the pants. So I think that's a really cool concept. Something else that would be interesting is like asymmetrical ribs. So if we go back down to 2, let's say like we'll start with our elastic waistband and just kind of like a, this one maybe just be a little bit more straight, doesn't have to be quite so wide. Let's go down here. Or this will be kind of interesting. So if we do something that's asymmetrical, like one leg, so one leg is like a really fine knit. That's actually not, well, okay, that's about as fine as we can get from drawing. And then here on the other side is a really chunky knit. Something like this. 2, so I would maybe even do more than 4. Do like 8. Yeah, I like that. Let's do like 8. We'll go back to 18%. Let's do like 50% straight, because these are so chunky. What? Okay, that's kind of cool. A really strong rib. There we go. That looks good. And then The other side would be like a 0.5? Maybe like a 1. Let's do 1. Okay, these are so fine, I'm not gonna actually match them up quite as much as the thick ones. I mean, the thick ones didn't even turn out very straight, so. There we go. This looks good. Cool. That's kind of cool. And then let's do some thicker ones for like dimension in the rib. That's kind of cool. Again, it's, you know, it would look more subtle in real life, I think, than it does in the sketch. The sketch is very like heavy-handed with just getting down the concept. But because the whole color would be the same, you would just kind of see these different textures in the actual fabric, which would be a little bit dramatic, but not as I feel like it's not as crazy as it looks. But maybe it would be. I don't know. But either way, I'm okay with that too. Oh, let's try some pleats. Pleats are actually very similar to rib. I mean, they look similar to rib. They've just got this sort of overlapping texture happening. So same thing, we would do our waistband. And we would do, so pleats. So how do you show pleating? So again, if we're just going to do a straight, so definitely at the bottom of at the hem of the pant would be a good place to show the actual pleating that's happening. So let's see, if we use this as a reference for the bottom of the pants and how it lays, it would kind of lay, so, boom, 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 kind of lay on itself like that. Here, boom, boom. Up, over, up, over, up. It's kind of like a zigzag kind of thing happening. I also feel like the pants would be wider at the bottom because of the pleating would, they would really kind of like come out. So I think for a pleating shape, we also want to kind of go a little bit wider at the bottom hem and continue our pleating hem there. And then 75%. Here I would maybe just do sharper lines than we did with the rib. Keep it at like 100. There we go. I think that sort of makes sense. So these would be like really billowy and really roomy, which is kind of fun. And then maybe do like 18% for shadows and like a 3. Oh, I made the pleats go in. I feel like the pleats would probably go out on a garment, but let's run with this. So the pleats are kind of like folded inward. That's fine. That kind of works. That's weird, but like, I guess if you go with it and you make it look intentional, it won't be so weird. So if I would make these pants, I would somehow make it look intentional, that they were, the pleats were supposed to like fold in. I feel like that's something like a really expensive brand would do. Something kind of quirky like that, like having like having pleats folding the wrong way from what's expected. And like in my last video, to have the square armholes like I currently have on my Manhattan jacquard sweater. Things like that, but done in a very intentional way. Oh yeah, that kind of looks pleated. Those look like pleated pants. And I think I want pockets, but I think there's no, I mean, it would really just be like side slit pockets. So maybe just sort of giving like a reinforcement here on the sides to show that, hey, there's pockets here. Maybe put a little, there we go. Same thing actually, that would be really cool to do asymmetrical. Like do one side that has small pleats. Let's try that. One side that has small pleats and one side that has big pleats. Those are kind of a little out of control. I'm gonna make these a little bit flowier, a little bit wider at the bottom. Up. Sort of makes sense. There we go. That's pleating outward. And then this side. Would do, let's just do like really big. Like that, okay. So let's change back to 2. Same thing here. What do we do? Like 75%. Really nice thick rib. Actually, this, and then this could be 8 for like shadowing. Go back down to 18. And then this would go back down to 1, do 100. Let's see. Whew, the tedious part of sketching is really sketching the details of the fabric, like the textures of the fabric and how the fabric lays. This stuff is where, or maybe that's just how I sketch. I guess it could be in other areas, like it could be in the silhouette. The silhouette could have the details, but for some reason I always kind of focus on having really simple silhouettes and having really interesting fabrics. I tend to develop the fabrics a lot more than I develop the silhouettes. I think that's just how I design. But I think that it's probably not the only way. That's just always what happens to me. And then we get like the shadows inside, in between. Ooh, I'm kind of losing it as I go up. I don't know where it's going. I'm just gonna kind of go up and... Hoop, hoop, hoop. Hoop. Alright, that's fine. Let's just kind of get the idea down. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Some other things we talked about were like other details. So I'm just really getting into just the fabrics right now, but... Oh, other things that are really great are like these traveling ribs that kind of like move. That's really nice. Actually, that's a really good shape also for doing arcing. Also, here's sort of traveling with jersey. How this section here is kind of like traveling on its own in a different, going this way, while the rest of the knit is kind of more going straight up. That's also nice. But the traveling ribs, or traveling full cardigan ribs, technically, which is what this is kind of nice. I'd love to do something like that, and then incorporating this into like an arc or balloon shape pant. Elastic waistband. I'm doing all elastic waistbands right now. I think that's a fine place to start. Oh, so the arc shape, so this would be the shape that's kind of like, around the hip I'd keep it the same, it's really simple, go down, and then where it just kind of has a really subtle ballooning in shape into the ankle, like that. Let's see, this got a little too thick here. Just kind of like balloons there. That's kind of subtle. I mean, we could do more since we're just sketching. It's kind of maybe too subtle. Let's just go for it. While we're sketching and getting ideas down, it's probably better to just go a little bit wider. Something like that. And then we can use at the hem, at the bottom of the pants, we can use sort of this traveling technique where to increase the needles and have the fabric widen out from the ankle. And it would be nice to kind of do a similar detail. So I want pockets though. So let's say definitely pockets. And I wonder if we could do some kind of traveling, let's do like 50%, some kind of, so from here, so these ribs would be going straight up, I would say from here. Oh, not all the way, yeah, so like there. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So these ribs would go straight up. Same thing here. The ribs right at the center of the leg would go straight up. And then here, this is where we would do shaping. That would kind of shape out. And also I kind of like this shaping in. So these would go straight up. This would go, again, out and then up and follow the line of the pocket. And the same thing, these would kind of end and gonna go straight up. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what this fabric is kind of, is what you would get these shapes to get it to widen. That's a really nice way to widen fabric, is to add needles at the bottom of the pant. That's really nice. I mean, I don't know if I like it because then the arc style is quite like trendy. It's quite just like trendy right now, so I don't know. But it's interesting to try it and play with it. Could also do the same thing on a more straight leg style. Ooh, frayed and fringe would be really cool to do with knitwear. Because it's such a popular thing with jeans right now. Let's see, Milano Ottoman. We could do a bunch of these all in one. Like, could do like cargo pockets and a frayed hem. Is that, what did I talk about? Waistbands. Oh, drawstring. Oh, drawstring's not bad. So we could do like a drawstring. Let's see. Let's go all the way up. So just in the waistband, we could do like a drawstring type waistband. That would be fine. And then, what did I say? Oh, a frayed. I'm just gonna go straight down. It's gonna be like a straight leg pant. For stitch, I'd actually love to see these in Milano. Milano is a funny stitch that it's pretty. This one's actually merino, but it's just like a really fine Milano stitch. It doesn't have a lot of texture. It's a nice subtle stitch, but the structure of the pants is really, it just lays really nice without the rib. I wouldn't do the rib on the bottom. It just lays really nice if you end it as it is with Milano. Same thing, I would probably do trouser pockets, which might need, you know, with this knitwear, it might need some kind of reinforcement, like maybe even a woven reinforcement. So I would maybe even double that up, make that thicker just so it lasts longer. Even doing, I wanted to even do like woven reinforcement even at the bottom as well, maybe. It just helps, like, knit can be kind of a fragile fabric sometimes, especially with pilling. So if you have knit pants and you're walking and like your thighs rub together or the fabrics rub together, especially in the thighs, it's going to be prone to a lot of pilling right there in like the crotch area and the inner thighs. So even there as well, we could add like woven piece. Maybe that just goes down to like the knees, from here down to the knees. So this is like all woven here. This is woven. This is woven here. And this is like reinforced woven. Like maybe like a cotton canvas or something. Ooh, these are kind of crazy. Oh, but we want to do fringe at the bottom. Okay, these kind of just turned into a heavy duty pair of pants. So let's just go with that. Let's do cargo pants. Cargo pockets. Okay. Not my favorite. There's just like a lot happening and it's kind of heavy. Sometimes you know when you've kind of like gone too far or done too much. I feel like there's too much happening here. These could be nice, especially maybe if it's all tonal colors, but I think because if I sketched it too heavy, it looks too contrasty and color blocky. But anyway, I want to do a frayed pair of pants, so let's move on to like frayed. Let's see. Frayed with what stitch though? Same thing. I think with Milano. Let's just keep a simple stitch that doesn't really take much rendering. Do a thinner. That's cute. We'll just do like side slit pockets inside. Could be here cool to also play with darts or something like that. Darts or shaping of darts. Maybe something simple like that. Some kind of shaping here would be interesting too. Just in the fabric. That's cool. I think that's all I'm going to do today. I just did 8 styles. I think that came out pretty nice. I'm happy with those 8. This is really just the beginning of exploring knit pants, and I think as a start it's really great. I think my favorite so far is like the asymmetrical of the rib and the pleating, of like one leg having a chunkier rib, like a 5x5, and then the other leg having like a 1x1, or the same thing with the pleating, like a chunkier pleat side and then a finer pleat side. I think those are ending up being my favorites, because they're just kind of like, they're really interesting. I think they're really like high level design. It'd be really cool. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below, either what you're sketching lately. I'd love to see it. I don't think you can post pictures in the comments of YouTube, but that's okay. That's a good reason to go follow me on Instagram at EmilyKellerCO, where I just post a lot of other fun knitwear and design related stuff on Instagram. And I'd love to see what you're designing. If you post stuff that you're sketching or designing on Instagram, tag me in the comments or something so I see it. And share it with me if you have any questions or you just want to share what you're designing. Awesome, please do. Instagram would probably be a better place. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. And, yeah, keep designing, and I'll see you in the next one.